We start to talk about engagement in topic 4, and we continue to be focusing on engagement and the behaviours that we are looking for in our clients and how we can influence our clients to feel safe and comfortable and eager to learn. And we follow that right through to topic 12. We can all feel disheartened if we try to deliver an articulation program that's too hard for a client. I think you'll agree that you will feel demoralised and the client will feel demoralised if you keep asking them to do things that they can't do. I wonder if you've already had that experience. Sometimes when we ask a client to do something that's at the wrong level, we get all sorts of strange reactions that end up making everybody feel awful. If you're a parent and you've tried to work on an articulation program at home, maybe a home program, and if your child didn't want to do it, you might have had to resort to bribery or punishment, or most likely you just went, you know what, we'll try it later. And then you became disheartened. You might have even become quite fearful or resentful of the program. And sometimes this is a real problem because you might not feel like going back to the speech therapy session in the future because you can actually feel a bit guilty. I tried to do that program and I couldn't, and I don't want to admit it. So this is why I have topic 4, because we need to set ourselves up for success. And there's just a couple of little tricks and tips that I can show you that really are going to make all the difference. This is a poster I made about 4 years ago, and I did it to summarise the sorts of information that I'd been regularly giving to people over the past 28 years. That's quite a long time, isn't it? And do you know who I aimed this at? High school teachers. So this is really relevant if you're working with preschoolers, if you're working with school age, and even right through to high school. Then I'm going to say that it's also relevant for adults of any age. It's relevant for the people receiving the articulation program and those giving it. So that means it's relevant for you. So I've got the poster up on the screen now. And like I said, we're going to be referring to this on quite a regular basis now from topic 4 right through to topic 12. Yellow for easy zone. Green for the okay zone. Red for the hard zone. And black for the very hard or impossible zone. Why do we need to have an easy zone? Well, a lot of people will have low confidence, bad past experience. They'll start off on the wrong foot. And if you go, oh, come and do this program with me, they might actually be really not willing to engage at all. So if we can get someone into an easy zone, let's look at the things that it will do. It'll help them to build confidence and be willing to try. It can help to engage all students if you're working with a group where there are multiple levels of ability. We want everyone to start in the easy zone. The easy zone is defined there as 95 to 100% success rate. So another way of putting it is, we're going to ask someone to do something that we're almost certain they can do. You'll see there it says we'll move into the okay zone when we're ready. So the easy zone can be something that's very brief. We might only stay in it for a really short time, like as in seconds, but we might need to be in it for minutes. We might need to be in it for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. We might need to be in the easy zone for the whole first time that we work with someone on an articulation program, or even the whole first 4 times. An easy zone generally, though, is something that we just do briefly, and it can be thought of as like a rapport building time, getting to know you sort of time, a warm-up kind of time. So the easy zone is something actually that we're all probably quite familiar with. It's what you do when you first meet someone and you smile and you say, why don't we play a game? We want to put someone at ease. That's the easy zone. You might like to think for yourself, if you're feeling a bit stressed or a bit tired and you've got to get stuff done, do you sometimes say, well, I'll make a start on the easy things? Now, not everybody does. Some people go, I'll do the hard stuff first and I'll save the easy for last. And that's an okay strategy. But when something is going to be hard for you or confronting, or you've had previous negative experience, you tend not to be quite so happy to do something. This is when we get our procrastination or our avoidance. So I think it's actually really good to say, let's start with something easy. I wonder if you're like me and you go, I need to do that report or I need to do that work, but I'll have a cup of tea first. That's easing yourself in. This is what we're talking about when we mean easy zone. For the child, it's often a game or it's doing something that we know that they can do so we can praise them. Now, the easy zone sounds lovely, but if we only ever stayed in the easy zone, we wouldn't get anything done. If having a cup of tea for you before you do your work is the easy zone, well, you can't just have cups of tea all day long. You have to get yourself ready. You have to psych yourself up. We can't stay in the easy zone all the time, obviously. If we did that, what could happen? Well, nothing would get achieved. We'd start to feel a little bit maybe disappointed in ourselves. We might get a bit bored. We might get a bit sleepy or just like disengage. So the easy zone has to be something that's timed quite well. What we want to do, as soon as we're getting the right kind of feedback or the right kind of results, we want to move into the okay zone. Can you see the little orange diamond with the arrows going in two directions? We want to go into the okay zone, but we can come back to the easy zone whenever we want. So we can go in between these two zones. Let's look at the green okay zone. What can we see? A tick? What do you think of when you see a tick? I got it right. How do you feel when you get something right? Go me. So the okay zone is where you're getting 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 right. It means you're having to try because you're occasionally getting it wrong, but you're mostly getting it right. But because you're sometimes getting it wrong, when you get it right, you do feel like go me. And there's that sense of achievement. Can you see the target and you've hit the target? The okay zone is where you know what you're aiming for and you're proud of when you get it. This is the best zone for learning and retention. The reason is you're motivated to practice at this level and you respond to encouragement at this level because you're mostly getting it right. Now, this is true for nearly all people. Occasionally, you'll meet someone who just wants it to be hard and they get it wrong, and they can be resilient and they can persist. But the majority of us, if we really can't get things right and we're just having failure over and over, we tend to tune out. But if we're in this okay zone, this green zone, we're motivated because we're getting it right nearly all of the time. And we can feel that actually we can do this. And yeah, it's a little bit hard, but I can. Actually, this is okay. And especially if someone is motivating us and someone is praising us, we're going to feel quite comfortable in this zone. This okay zone helps to build resilience for the hard zone. Now, some things in life are going to be hard, and we don't want to fall apart when something's hard. When we're helping a client, we don't want them to fall apart when something's hard. But did you know the way to build resilience to deal with things that are hard is not to just do more and more and more things that are hard? That actually is most likely going to make the person disengaged. The way to build resilience is to give opportunities for success. And in order to give opportunities for success, you need to allow your client to be successful. That means you need to let them start in the easy zone and feel that success, take them into the okay zone where they go, yep, I can, but there's a sense of achievement because every now and then it's a bit hard, and that makes it all the more special when they do get it right and they get the tick. And so the green zone is the place which we know as speech pathologists is the best learning zone. It's the best place to learn and retain. When you're in this zone, you're less likely to be troubled by negative thoughts in your head. You're less likely to become disheartened and start making excuses. This is a great zone to be in. Now let's look at the red zone, the hard zone. In this hard zone, A lot of the clients that you work with will not cope. A lot of your clients will have negative past experience. And as soon as they feel like they're in the hard zone and they're getting 3 things wrong for every 10, they're not going to cooperate. Even worse, or clients that are in the hard zone, if they're getting like 2 right out of 10 or 3 right out of 10, they are going to shut down. Do you shut down if you try to do things and you're getting nearly all of it wrong? A lot of us do. A lot of us actually avoid the hard zone and we actually disengage, we tune out. When we're in the hard zone, we are not learning and we are not retaining. Have you ever tried to learn something and it was too tricky and you went, oh, I just can't do this, I'll come back later. And when you come back later, you're like, I can't remember any of that. It's because you weren't engaged. You need to be in the okay zone to be learning and remembering. The hard zone, that's why it's called hard. Those people who think, oh, yeah, well, I learn well when it's hard, you're actually probably quite a resilient learner, or you're actually probably in the okay zone and you just haven't realized that's where you are. Really bright people, really clever people, really advanced and gifted people, they actually find themselves in the okay zone or even the easy zone most of the time because their skills are so great. People who've had to work at their speech clarity and who end up needing an articulation program, they often don't have a lot of resilience at working on their speech. These are some of the things we might see in those people if we try to push them to work on their speech. Let's look at those things down the bottom. We might see them having self-doubt. I can't do this. No, I don't want to do this. We might see nerves, nervous behavior, chewing fingernails, looking worried, looking around, backing away from you, hiding behind mum or dad. We might see refusal. No, I don't want to do that. No, I'll play the game, but no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to make that sound. No. We might see avoidance. Oh, can I play that game instead? Oh, can I go back out in the waiting room? We might see excuses. Oh, no, I don't have to do this one. No, because because I'm really tired. Yeah, I'm so tired. No, I'm thirsty. No, I can't do this because I'm thirsty. We might just see complete disengagement, running out of the room, hiding under the table, pretending to not hear you, not looking at you. And we can see bravado. I don't have to do this. I can already do it. No, I'm not saying that because I already can. This is so easy. This is crazy. This is too easy for me. Like the pictures, we might see the person that just smiles and nods. Yep, I can do it. Yep. So you think, oh, great, they're fine, they're cooperative, but they've just learned how to pretend that they're okay. They might try hard and you might think they're okay, but the minute they walk out of that session, they just have a complete meltdown, or they go home and they go, I don't ever want to go back there again, because actually it was really hard for them. We might have the stubborn clients like we see in the middle, arms folded, just scowling. And we might have the paper bag over the head. We might have the client that, goes and sits in the corner and just tries to be invisible. All of these things telling you that this is not working. Why would you try to help someone with an articulation program and then give them activities that put them in a hard zone that cause all these behaviours? It's not necessary. In speech pathology, we don't go into the hard zone. It's one of the reasons why speech pathology is so successful. We well and truly spend time in that yellow, easy zone, and then we spend a lot of time in the okay zone, where our clients feel good about themselves, develop a sense of achievement, they learn and retain, they respond to encouragement, and they don't fall apart when something's suddenly a bit tricky because they've built resilience through having lots of success. The black zone, the very hard or impossible zone, we just don't go there at all when we're doing an articulation program. Why would we? Failure guaranteed. We have children come in and they can't even make a sound at all, no matter how hard we try. And a good example is the k sound, like in car. Some kids cannot make k. And yet, if you haven't gone through this poster and this concept, you might quite unknowingly think you're doing the right thing and go, oh, this person can't say k. I'll help them. And then you spend half an hour trying to help them to say k, like in car. If they can't even form it, you'll have half an hour where you've put them in a position of failure guaranteed. Now, I know you don't want to do that. And some of you might have actually been asked to do that before. Go and help this child with this, and you've looked at it and gone, there's no way they're going to be able to do this. Well, if you thought this is a waste of time, you were right. If you thought this might actually cause some harm, you were right. There's nothing to be gained and actually quite a lot to be lost by putting someone into a black zone. That's why I've got cobwebs, keep out, ghosts, bats, poison, scorpions, danger, and beware. Let's just avoid that zone. Why don't you take a minute now, have a think about something that you have found to be easy, something that's okay for you, that you're perhaps learning at the moment and you mostly have it and you're motivated and you're sticking with it. Something that's quite hard for you that you've tried and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to avoid that. And then something that you tried once and you went, I am never doing that again.